First step is to put the legal names of all owners there. If there are more than one, please remember to use a comma to separate them. Again, here, if there are two owners, please put email addresses for both. If you only put one, we will assume that all owners will sign from the same email address. Property type, select which one it is, condo, co-op, whether it's condo, townhouse, single family, multifamily. Let's do a simple one, condo. Listing price. Do something simple. This you can leave blank. If you do know it, you can put it as well. Square footage, this you can leave blank. If you do know it, you should certainly put it here. Again, this is optional, but it is helpful, especially for a condo or co-op apartment. This goes into the broker database, so it is typically not displayed on public-facing search websites. For this section, this only shows up in the broker database. We recommend putting something, especially if you have a different buzzer number than your apartment number, anything that might make it complex or difficult to access your apartment. This part is important to remember that the property description can only include information strictly about the property. It cannot include any sort of self-promotional language such as email addresses, phone numbers, anything, or even website addresses, anything that might be self-promotional, have contact information. It's not allowed by both the broker databases nor many websites as well, public searching websites. And also keep in mind that New York has some of the strictest fair housing laws in the country. It is extremely strict, especially in New York City, so we cannot include any information that might be construed as discriminatory, such as even saying this is in a good school zone, it's zoned for PS 14, it's family friendly, it's kid friendly, it's Christian friendly, whatever it might be. New York City is extremely strict, so we cannot include it, and it is actually automatically removed as well. So please keep that in mind. We recommend writing 2 paragraphs max. 1 paragraph is fine as well. Keep it short, concise. The first paragraph should be about the apartment. The second paragraph, if you choose to have a second paragraph, should be about the building. For the unit amenities, these are a few pre-populated fields that are available in the broker database that can be syndicated out. Please keep in mind that we cannot offer custom amenities. These are the few choices that we have, and we cannot guarantee that they will even show up on third-party websites because we cannot determine or control what third-party websites do. Once they receive a data feed, it's up to them how they display their data. They may have pre-populated data for buildings, which is often the case. It's not something that we can have any say or influence over or edit. So the best we can do is to choose to send out some of these pre-selected ones and hope that third-party websites will reflect them. Some of the most common ones are laundry unit, so there's a washer and dryer in the unit. Is it recently renovated? Is a dishwasher perhaps has outdoor space because it has a patio, hardwood floors. So these are some of the most common ones. Unit view. Does it have an unrestricted open view? Perhaps. Some of these are other choices that are pre-populated. Unit exposure. Which direction do the windows face? Is it south, north, whatever it is? Just select that. You can select more than one. Unit condition. Please give an honest assessment of the unit's condition. Is it good, fair, rec? These again are pre-populated choices. Please select one open house to start. You can always add additional open houses later using our listing update form in the seller's menu bar, submit listing update. But it's important to just list one for now to not overwhelm buyers. So if you want to choose to have one at all, this is Saturday, remember, this is Sunday, so the first day of the week starts on Monday. So you want to do Sundays are quite popular. Saturdays are popular too. 12 to 4 p.m. are the most common times, usually 2 hours. So this part is important. You absolutely want to have photos and a floor plan when you upload a listing. In fact, many MLS systems will not allow an upload without any sort of photos or a floor plan. So if you already have professional photos taken and a floor plan which you have ownership rights to, congratulations. And it's important to confirm that as well. You can't simply take photos from the internet or from a previous listing by another broker and just give them to us. That is an easy way to get sued for copyright infringement, which you will be liable for. So please make sure you either have ownership of the photos, or if you're in New York City, you can actually order them at the end of this form directly from us. So if you don't have photos on the floor plan yet, just leave it blank. If you do have it somewhere, make sure that you give us a link, for example, whether it's Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever storage or cloud storage service you use. Just make sure that there is no password required for our support team to access. So make sure it is unrestricted. That's just an example. Again, this is completely up to you. As you know, the commission you typically hear about in the news is 6%. It's split 50-50 between a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. If the buyer does not have an agent, typically the listing agent keeps all 6%. But regardless, because it's split equally, buyer agents typically expect 3%. Now, in the city, just from experience and surveys of our partner brokers, we've never gotten pushback, or our partner brokers have never gotten pushback at 2.5% of a co-broke to buyer's agents. Remember, you do want to offer something market rate to buyer agents, because there are 50,000 agents in New York City. They're all running around offering a free service. So you certainly want to engage them and offer them something market rate, so your listing will be competitive with other listings. And that is the point of this service to begin with, so that you can contractually offer a co-broke or an offer of commission to buyer's agents through the broker database. So again, this is a highly personal choice. It is up to you. Minimum down payment permitted by building. So a lot of condos and co-op buildings and co-op buildings will require a minimum amount of down payment, or in other words, a maximum amount of financing. So a lot of buildings will require 20% down. Some condos might require 10% down. Obviously, if you are listing a multifamily or a townhouse, just enter 0 if it's not applicable. So let's put hypothetically 10% down for this building. Co-ops might require more, like 25%. Now remember, for taxes, it's important, because in New York City, condos will have taxes and common charges listed separately. Co-ops will have everything rolled into just maintenance, and the maintenance for a co-op will include both the equivalent of common charges and taxes. So because this is a condo, it's listed separately. Just make something up. Common charges are $500. This is not applicable because it's not a co-op, so you can leave this blank. If this was a co-op, if you know this, enter it here. So perhaps 50% of the maintenance is tax deductible. This is something that your co-op will be able to tell you. Just so you know, if you can't find it, this is typically in Form 1098. It's sent by your co-op. It's called a co-op tax deduction letter. And it tells you how much of your maintenance is tax deductible. Let's go back. Flip tax, again, enter 0 if not applicable, but a lot of co-ops will have them, usually 1-2%. Condos usually don't, but there's starting to be more that will try to have flip taxes. It's a new phenomenon. So for this condo, let's just assume it's 0. This is again only for co-ops. So co-ops will have number of shares owned. For condos, not applicable. Existing listing. So if you have an existing for sale by owner listing, please provide the URL. This will help us as well because perhaps we can download photos from there, etc., or take a look at existing information you might have. It's important to remove all existing FSBO listings before you submit your listing with us, because if you don't and our team starts the upload and syndication process, there will be syndication errors, override errors. It's simply something you don't want, and furthermore, it will be confusing to buyer agents if you have an existing for sale by owner listing. You must remember that the point of this listing is it looks just like a traditional listing. The co-broke, assuming you offer a fair co-broke, you're paired with one of our traditional partner brokerages. It looks like just any other traditional listing. So you certainly don't want to confuse people by having also a for sale by owner listing. If you're looking to buy something, we would love to hear it. We can certainly help you on the buy side as well. So our partner brokers can help offer you advice, find you a new home, and also give you a buyer closing credit. So essentially a rebate of part of the buyer agent's commission. So after you sell, if you're looking to upgrade to a new home, they can certainly help you with that, give you back some of the commission. And it's a substantial savings against closing costs or whichever else you choose to use it for. This last part, we apologize if it does sound a bit harsh, but it is necessary that we have some expectation setting. Please remember that you are paying essentially 0% in commission versus 6% in commission. That's quite a substantial difference in New York City, where the average home sells for $2 million. So please keep in mind that because this is a essentially free service, we really need to make sure that the customers who sign up for this have the right expectations in mind. There is no phone or email support from neither Hauseit nor our partner brokers. Customers are expected to actually read and understand what the product is before signing up, and to use the listing update for all requests, edits, and such. So please make sure you understand what the service is before you sign up. And if you don't after signing up, but before the upload, we're always happy to give you a full refund as well. So please make sure you understand and only sign up and select yes if you have read everything and thoroughly understand it. And after you have done this, please select a product that you can pay. So there are a few options. You can learn more here on the shop, but essentially what this is this is the basic listing. This comes, so that's $340. This, if you add pro photos, it comes with professional photos. So our professional photo package, you can find out more on the shop. And this comes with both the professional photos and a floor plan. You can also do this ultimate package, which comes with both the listing, professional photos, the floor plan, and a broker consulting package. If you have gone here and paid directly already without submitting your listing details, you can always select already paid and then just submit only your listing details. If at any time, for example, you need to come back to this form later, perhaps because you don't know what the maintenance is and you want to save it, simply hit save and continue later. This will give you a link that you can come back to. It will actually email you a link that you can come back to within 30 days, I believe. Please remember that once you hit submit your listing details and you complete your payment on the next page, and after that you will receive a e-listing agreement. And once you e-sign the agreement, your listing will be uploaded within 2 business days. Please keep in mind that if you want to submit all of your information now and have your listing uploaded at a future date, this is not something that we can do, and it does generate confusion with our support team. So we ask that you only submit your listing detail once you are ready to list. So you can always hit save and continue later and to submit your listing when you are actually ready to list, or simply come back to this form once you wish to actually list your property. After all of this is done, simply hit submit your listing and payment details and go to the next page to complete your checkout. At the moment, we use PayPal. So on the next page, it would take you to PayPal. If you have an account, you can log in. You don't necessarily have to use PayPal because you can just scroll down a little bit further and it says pay with a debit or credit card. This next page is self-explanatory. We won't go through it with you, but essentially put in your information, hit pay now. After this is done, you will be taken to the listing confirmation page, and you will again be notified that you will receive a listing agreement, a flat fee e-listing agreement for e-signature during normal business hours. And once that is signed, it will be uploaded within 2 business days. And here's some additional information for you in case you're buying after you're selling. We also offer a great full service listing option for a 1% listing fee to the seller's broker. So this is another option to consider if you are too busy to fill out all of your listing details, you're too busy to show your home yourself. We certainly can have one of our partner brokers handle everything for you for a much reduced fee. Anyway, we hope you found this tutorial useful, and we hope to hear from you. Thank you so much.